All right, guys, what's up? This is a real quick bonus round with Chad Thompson. We hope that you enjoyed the quick podcast. A lot of information in that. That was really great interview experience of a session. It just blows my mind when I get to sit down with somebody who is so selfless. Jolie and Chad both work together, and they just have been the kindest person to me and always give me like the best advice and insight and information and guidance whenever I want to help make a difference. And I see them setting the example that I want to be able to mirror, and what I hope you guys are able to reach out and be a part of too. So I have Chad in this portable studio set up around. We're going to do a real quick couple fire rounds of some questions just to kind of get to know the guy off the records of not so much on the legalization part, but humaning. Chad, thank you for coming back and let me get you in for a real quick question.
Hey, I had no choice. You went right into it. You gave me no choice, which is a great idea. And let me say, you should probably call this podcast like Smoking Out with Jason, because man, we've just been sitting here steady smoking. It's a great little vibe, man.
You know, I had always heard that that they didn't want think tanks because think tanks, they would sit there and they would consume cannabis and put together their ideas, but put aside their differences, and that we just couldn't have that if we're going to be, divided. It seems like you give a couple men a bag of weed, they start a band. If you give them a case of beer, they start fighting. What do you think on that?
That is absolutely true. That is the absolute truth. I mean, just my years petitioning, going to different events, the different experiences I've had. Like I had a cannabis, a private cannabis club, and it was started in 2016 in Toledo, still there to this very day, and we had a no alcohol policy. And literally, the vibe was always amazing, right? Like, everybody's real social. There's no issues, no problems. We have a Christmas party, and we have the bright idea. You bring your own beer at the Christmas party, whatever. And let me tell you, for the first time, there was there was issues. Like, there was aggression. There was, people getting just too loud. And it just was like immediately you could tell the difference. And I was just shocked by, listen, it's cliche among real heavy cannabis consumers and users that, like what you said, alcohol will make you fight and weed will, it just doesn't do that. It's true.
Yeah, not a lot of people know it, but I've taken break really from drinking, and I prefer to just smoke a little bit of extra cannabis.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And since moving to Michigan and being part of the Michigan scene, I got to go to social events, social clubs, and really have that social experience as well with large groups of people of every ethnicity, every sex, every gender, every belief, everything possible. The craziest, coolest hair to no hair and everything in between. And what brought us all together was sharing flower. And no matter what, everybody was still there laughing, having a good time, sharing flower.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you had the opportunity since Michigan's become recreationally legal for 21 and up to come up and enjoy some of the events they've had?
Let me think here. So I went to the Cannabis Cup a couple times, and then there was one time it was at that warehouse where it wasn't quite the Cannabis Cup or something. I've been to a couple events, yeah.
Awesome, cool. Well, hopefully we'll get back to some more socializing to this COVID-19.
But Michigan's always been heavy, man. When you come here, I've noticed this is the Michigan thing. You sit at a table, right? You crowd in at a table, and it's just either it's blunts or joints, just continuous, and everybody's got 15 that they throw in, and it's just everybody's double fisted at some point. It's like y'all have been doing that for a decade. It's ever since Michigan went medical in 2008, it's just been which is a great law, by the way. Or what? that situation anymore, but y'all been doing it big for a long time up here in Michigan.
Right. Thank you. Yeah, they definitely know how to do it up here. And I've been myself adjusting. I've only been up here for about 4 years.
Seems you caught on. You got it. It's working out.
I appreciate it. And thanks for coming on the podcast as well. We want to, share useful information, get to know people, talk to pioneers, because I see this as documenting. This is history. Mm-hmm. This is the future's history. So this is a way of like documenting the history, to be able to go back through and listen to the archives of people and their lives. And
send this to me in 20 years. Get on your phone, tell Google, listen, Google follows you. So in 20 years, set a reminder, and in 20 years, send a link to this to me.
I'm going to do that, because this is actually my second official podcast session.
Yeah, you had Jolie,
and yes,
also a director.
Oh man, it was a wonderful experience. So far, it's been like great. It just keeps getting better. And it was really important to get to talk to you guys, because not a lot of people know what happens behind the scenes, and a lot of people are, if they're skeptics and they really want to dig in, this will give them opportunity to see what happens behind the scenes and how the job gets done, and see that technically, if they wanted to, they could do it as well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But we welcome them to join us. Come volunteer, ask questions, and learn. Be a part of the solution.
Yeah, definitely. And every year new people get involved, and it's an expanding situation, right? It's an abundant universe, so it's a good sitch, man.
So, what's your favorite strain of cannabis?
Wow, that's a good one. I tell you, it's like at an ice cream shop, man. You ain't gonna give me ice cream I ain't gonna like. But I recently was, how I put this. So we have a private medical dispensary that was open in Toledo. A little off subject here, but the point is, I would say, in my experience with it intimately, there's this strain called GMO. You familiar with it? Garlic cookies.
Oh yeah, GMO.
Yeah, man.
I've tried that.
I dig GMO. Gelato 33, right?
Right. That's
like, I don't want to be cliche with the Larry Bird reference, but really amazing strain. And then they're crossing Gelato 33 with about everything now. So, the great thing about cannabis is that, not only can you cross strains, which is never ending, but, you can just take straight dry flower and cross it and get completely new results from what you started with. Like it's endless, man. I mean, variety's the spice of life.
Variety is the spice of life, and everything that they cross with another strain, now you have a new strain that could have a new medicinal property and could be the next cure for COVID-19 possibly. You never know.
Definitely.
But, and one more thing I really like to ask you is, medibles or smoking flower?
You got to give me more information. You mean like what?
What do you think's better? What are you more of a medible guy or flower person?
Listen, I would probably say if you had a blunt, a brownie, I'm taking the blunt, but I would not turn the brownie down. I would take it for the road.
That is the best answer ever. Thank you so much. And this is just be a lot of fun to get to know people and to human, and to let the humans that are out there that are perhaps, locked in their house and they're just wondering what's going on or what there is to do.
That's the beauty of this type of medium, dude, is that you can actually, like, if someone somehow got interested in the first, few seconds and happened to listen to this entire podcast and then went on to the bonus round, you're able to get to know somebody on a really, maybe not even a deep level, but certainly more than you would like in 7 years of activism without podcasts. Really, you're on the news and you get snippets and nobody knows anything, but getting to sit down like this, and there's no time limit. there's nobody editing this. It's you told me it's like, hey, there's no edits. This is whatever gets laid down is what's going to go out. And so, you get the time to get to know somebody a little bit more intimately. So, dude, I love podcasts, dude. I will go far and wide, to get the opportunity. One person listens to all this, and listen, which may not mean anything, but it's a numbers game, and
I think it definitely means a lot because a lot of people are looking for knowledge and are looking for insight, and they value other people's opinions. And here in 5 years, when it's all said and done, it's decriminalized, normalized, nationalized, and then intercontinentalized.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Big picture, yeah, that's absolutely
big picture.
Yeah, sure.
They're gonna look back, and this will be like the war days. This will still be a part of like the hippie days, of activism, so to say, at the end of it, because it's not over. The war's not over. There's some states where you can be in Michigan and you can have 2.5 ounces in your pocket, and they're not worried about that. They're letting you go. Just don't be under the influence. You know what I mean? If you're walking down the street, you're fine. As where in other states, 2.5 ounces, and they're taking your car, you're going to jail, you have court, you have a misdemeanor.
Huge fines.
Now you can't, get a car, you can't get an education.
Absolutely.
Financing. So
absolutely. Even like you say, in the other legal states that are, I say quote unquote legal. What's usually legal in most states, up until Michigan, which was a huge leap. Basically, you were allowed an ounce. In most of these legal states, you can have an ounce, but you go over that, and it's huge fines, huge penalties.
I mean, I'm not really necessarily trying to name drop it. Like Joe Rogan, he uses cannabis and even drinks. Like Elon Musk, when on the podcast, he had some drinks and he smoked as well. And
right.
These are some of Elon Musk at least is a genius in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And
very
if
successful
they
for sure.
Find it acceptable, and if people are winning gold trophies, for swimming,
right? Elite athletes throughout the world in various sports are test positive for cannabis.
I mean, I don't know. Do you agree? If mom can have a glass of wine, then mom can have a joint when the kids go to bed?
Well, let me say this. I thought that was a different question than I thought you asked me. Okay.
If mommy can have a glass of wine when the kids go to bed, can mommy have a joint when the kids go to bed?
I don't think there's anything wrong with cannabis. Like, I don't think mommy should even have to hide it when the kid's awake. Like, it'll be what you make it. Like, if it's just it depends on the lens you're looking at it. So if you're going to believe the DARE program and it's a drug and it's illegal and it's bad and it doesn't benefit medically, then okay, I guess you should hide it. But if you don't believe that, if you think it actually is misclassified, then just be, let it be. This is just my opinion, mind you, but I'm totally open to,
Mom can make her own
Absolutely,
choice. Her body, her choice.
Absolutely.
Works for me. I mean, as
Even
far
when
as
the kid's awake.
drinking wine, all that stuff. I mean, because, people do consume alcohol. I grew up with my family consuming alcohol. We actually owned bars. Mm-hmm. So it was a bar life for me from 7 on up.
Yeah, my dad was a bar frequent. In fact, when I look at family photos, and I remember some even mentioned it one time, all the men in the family, they had a beer in their hand.
Yeah, it's not, I don't have anything against alcohol. I just feel like, I like cannabis. And for now, I'm just not drinking. So
I tell you what, I'm not going to make any judgments, but I'll tell you, alcoholism is a real thing. My father's an alcoholic, and it's a devastating disease situation, whatever you want to call it. There's no denying it's a poison to our bodies. Excuse me. And when you look at somebody who drinks habitually or smokes weed habitually, it's night and day. There's no comparison. There's nothing more. I mean, you just, if you get a look at it, it speaks for itself. I mean, you can say what you want. It speaks for itself.
Well, thank you for letting us know, things about you in your life and who you are as a person. And thank you for being you.
Are you gonna hit me with the bonus? Is this gonna be like
Yeah,
cash
bonus,
cab where I
man.
get to like
Cash
you
cab.
could scrap all the interview we done if you want to do. You could keep going. If you, I'm like, okay, let's keep going. No, it's been awesome,
Bonus,
man.
bonus.
It's been awesome.
It really is. Because that's real
wish,
talk.
wish you amazing love and success on this podcast, on your YouTube channel, Lincoln Social. I appreciate everything you do, my man.
What we're gonna go for wanted to bonus it. So
Okay.
bonus it.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
It does sound
Well, you look like you got something to say. What? Oh, so you ain't just gonna like.
Okay, so you got all these initiatives going. You're really important because you're writing all these, which is awesome. And when all the weed is decriminalized, what are you gonna do?
Wow, that's actually a really great question. You made me kind of my mind just kind of went off there for a second. Like, wow, what would I do? I guess just wow, that's a great question, man. I would definitely enjoy it. I would definitely enjoy it. You know, I am currently involved in the medical marijuana business, so to speak, and so, you know, in Ohio we have really great laws currently concerning medical marijuana as a healthcare. So, I mean, I would continue to participate in that and. Expand access, just in terms of, letting people, I will be proselytizing the benefits throughout the world, man. That's it.
COVID-19. It's changed forever. Now you used to judge a man by his handshake. Now we're not handshaking. You used to exchange energy.
You think it'll ever go back?
With a hug.
What do you think, man?
That's what
is
I'm.
This the way it is?
Do you think this is the new norm, or do you think? I want to know what you think.
Okay. Well, now listen. Keep in mind, I'm a dude, so I am in a man's bathroom, like at Lowe's or Home Depot, and I see people leaving, going to the bathroom, and not washing their dick hands and just walking out, right? Like. Listen, we're slobs as humans, right? Like, we can sit and, say whatever we want. Listen, it always amazes me, like, how many times, like, people just, like, walk out and they know I'm, like, right there. Like, okay, dude, I'll see you in the aisle and just stay away from me. But, no, dude, I think eventually, yeah, we're going to go back to whatever. I do.
That is the greatest answer ever. So yeah, a lot of people don't wash their hands, and they need to, and we need to start working on that.
We need to
as
work
a society,
on it. You ain't kidding.
And having more hand sanitizer. Okay, so I agree. I feel like we're gonna start going back to normal. It's gonna take a little bit of time. People are gonna have to realize that with really better hygiene, and if you're not feeling well, and if you go around other people, just stay home, and we'll just pay more attention. I think we'll go back to normal.
Were you very fearful of COVID-19? I mean, did it really shake your world, or were you like not as concerned about it?
I actually had it early on.
What do you mean, like in?
I had it in February
before they even announced it.
Yeah, before I had it in February.
Really? You were like super sick.
I was in bed for 14 days. I couldn't breathe.
Did you go to the hospital?
I didn't.
No shit.
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't have. I would have had an ambulance had to take me there, but I didn't have a way back home.
Did you feel like?
So I just figured I would just stay home.
Did you feel like it was like you knew something was like? Did you like?
Oh man, I couldn't breathe. I felt like I had pneumonia or something. Sweats, fever.
Oh my gosh.
The cough like no other. And like I had to wash my blankets every day from just sweating.
You're probably safe now.
Oh yeah, I've isolated for
I mean, just
several weeks.
I mean, like, once you get it, aren't you supposed to?
Oh,
Or is that not?
well, see, it woke me up. I realized that I needed to quit working on my obesity for a while and start working on
What?
taking. I like to eat a lot. Like, I'll crush a pack of
I've never
donuts.
seen you obese.
Well, I just like I really enjoy eating food, like, and I don't stop. So
Well, who
it would be
doesn't?
labeled as. So I just I don't just
But the way
stop
you
at a
said that,
couple.
it just struck me. You said working on my obesity. Like,
Working out because I really like to eat. It's
Yeah, but
like
you're-
really
dude,
enjoyable. Like
but why
people
would you
enjoy
lose-
smoking weed. I could really rather enjoy eating donuts.
See, I'm a sugar addict. You're talking to a
Right,
81
so-
sugar addict, bro.
So that would
I
be by
understand what you're
definition
saying.
like me working on like my obesity because if I didn't have a control on that,
You would be obese
yes,
for sure. It's like alcohol.
clear it up.
It-
Yeah.
It's like alcohol.
So
It's
I'm working on it
progressive.
because
it's progressive.
like,
Don't stop.
I'll stop and get like a baker's dozen of donuts
Oh, you're
and
talking
eat
to-
8 of them.
Do they got Krispy Kreme up here? I love.
This is like a relapse for me. I've been working on it. I really do love donut, and and it's. But now I take vitamins. I'm working out, taking vitamins properly.
You know what?
I'm using hand sanitizer, washing my hands more often. There might have been times where I might have been the guy that pissed and didn't completely wash his hands
Oh,
properly.
Yeah. Listen, I'm in
You
there. I
know,
see you guys
now,
out there.
Now I am washing my hands properly, like, and now I'm like waiting for somebody else to open the door so I can like keep it open with my foot instead of touching the door after like 50 other dudes touch it. So like, taking more precaution for that, and and everyone else is too. I think for a while everybody will be like isolated in their pack and their people that they know are good and that have good communication or their family, and then they'll start expanding out.
Yeah.
Like it'll be like your tribe, your
Right,
family, and
right.
then you'll start like working out from that center.
Yeah, we're easy. We got short memories.
We're really
You know
we're
what I mean?
social beings. We
yeah.
want to hug.
Yeah.
We want to be at the beach.
Yeah.
We want to party.
We're trying to get back. Everybody wants
And
to get
and
back
honestly,
to
like if alcohol kills germs, wouldn't Jack Daniels and tequila should be the answer?
well,
Wasn't that?
I
I don't know. I'm
mean,
not a
just don't-
doctor, but like
I mean, I would
works as hand sanitizer.
I
Drink some tequila. Wouldn't
Yeah.
it like clear up that cough
Right,
with a lime
right. So you can.
and some salt?
Yep. Yeah, that sounds like.
If I catch it again, I'm gonna try like Patron with lime and salt, and I'll let you know.
Okay. Okay.
I don't wish it upon anybody though. I was in the fetal position for like 6 days.
Really?
Yeah, it was the worst ever.
Did you ever think like food poisoning? Like, or you just thought pneumonia?
Nah,
like, flu?
first thing I thought was COVID-19 because they
Oh,
were
you knew
just
about it?
well because it was like really happening and being talked about.
Oh,
But
I
people
thought
were
this was.
already flying to Michigan,
Oh,
and I went to a social event, and people were coughing everywhere. So I just did the math and figured, oh man, I got this. It's either the flu or it's the COVID.
I've been very lucky. I've been very healthy.
I'm much healthier now that I do some minor bit of working out, and vitamins. Vitamins are
You
important.
think so?
Yeah, I think vitamins. When you hit 40, you need to start taking some vitamins for
Really?
things, and some supplements are good.
I,
And start eating better. Like I've stopped eating half a box of donuts and
what do you
started.
think eating better means? Like,
Well,
what's the eating better? What's
I eat like eggs and ham.
Well, that's good.
Or I'll make grilled cheese sandwiches and put like ham and cheese on there
Okay, that's
instead of ramen noodles.
I think it seems to me, in my experience, and my body tells me, like, I do best with like a low carb diet.
What's your go-to munchie food?
Ooh, dude, I tell you, probably it's got to either be cookies and milk or cereal.
That's what's up. Those are the best.
I'm a big kid. I'm a big kid at heart, I guess.
So you're gonna free the weed, criminalize the weed, legalize the weed, and then you're gonna enjoy the weed.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, fist bump.
All right. All right. Oh, look at that.
Social distancing, using hand sanitizer, washing, all that good stuff. Promoting it as well, real quick. I seen the SMC's suggested mask. I got the memo on that,
Yeah.
and I'll be
Yeah, yeah.
following that as long as well with everybody else. So
That's
thank you
right.
for putting those guidelines for our safety and everybody else's as well. And thanks for the bonus round, man.
Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thanks so much.